You guys, it's 1,000,000 degrees, or 100 degrees. There's not enough iced coffee in the world to cool me down and give me like energy, because that's really all I need right now. Guess what we're here to do? Yes, we're here to see what I bought book-wise in July. Now, I have to tell you, Kat, Bella, and I took a nice, wonderful 6-day, wish it was longer, trip to Los Angeles, and we went to not one but 2 bookstores. Well, actually 3. We went to Barnes & Noble at the Grove as well, and we had so much fun, just bookish adventures galore. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, please do. It's at Sophie Rixby. I will link it here somewhere. And you can see some of the bookish adventures. We went to Universal, we went on a tour with Warner Brothers, we hit a bunch of beaches and a couple of colleges. It was so fun and just amazing to be with my 2 girls. I have to admit though, I missed having the boys along, my husband and my son. They were both working, but neither here nor there. For my husband, look honey, I have way less books than I've had in May and June. And 3 of these are library books, so let's get to those, shall we? I have to be in the mood for historical set books, and this one caught my eye. It's by A.J. Pierce, and it's called Dear Mrs. Bird. Isn't the cover pretty? And this is set, it's actually a debut novel set in London during World War II about an aspiring journalist who becomes an advice columnist. So while Emmeline Lake dreams of being a lady war correspondent, don't we all? Not really though, not me. She spots a job in the newspaper during the Blitzkrieg as the bombs are raining down on London. She spots a job advertisement in the newspaper. She sees this by chance, but after a rather unfortunate misunderstanding, she finds herself typing letters for the formidable Henrietta Bird, renowned advice columnist of Women's Friend magazine. Mrs. Bird is very clear. Letters containing any unpleasantness with a capital U must go straight into the bin. But as Emmy reads the desperate pleas from women who may have gone too far with the wrong man or can't bear to let their children be evacuated, she begins to secretly write back to the readers who have poured out their troubles. Irrepressibly funny, enormously moving, Dear Mrs. Bird is a love letter to the enduring power of friendship, the kindness of strangers, and the courage of ordinary people in extraordinary times. It's just the kind of book that I need to read these. Okay, the second book I'm super excited about. It's due back in the library. I can't extend the hold because somebody else has it on hold. It's by Mira Grant, which I think most of us know is actually a pseudonym for Shannon McGuire, who wrote the Wayward Children series. This is called Into the Drowning Deep. And it's not a fantasy. No, this is a thriller. It is about a ship that sets off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary bringing to life an ancient sea creature or sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a hoax, others have called it a tragedy. Now a new crew has been assembled, but this time they're not out to entertain. Some seek to validate their life's work, some seek the greatest hunt of all, some seek the truth. But for the ambitious young scientist Victoria Stewart, this is a voyage to uncover the fate of the sister she lost. Wherever the truth may be, it will only be found below the waves. The secrets of the deep come with a price. Now, the only problem I have with this book, outside of the fact that it's due in the library, lickety-split, is that it's 400, hopefully no spoilers for you or me, 436 pages long. Oh my gosh. As you know, her Wayward Children series is like super, super duper short. I don't need a 436 page book in my life right now, but you guys, I may have to go out and buy this one because I need to read this ASAP. This is totally the vibe that I'm feeling right now, kind of thriller and water, it's summer. The third book is one I just finished for Biannual Bibliothon, so it's mentioned in my wrap-up. It's Wonderful Tonight by Patty Boyd and Penny Jr. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I'm mispronouncing her name, Penny Junor. Sorry, Penny. This is about Patty Boyd, who was married to both George Harrison of the Beatles and Eric Clapton. He wrote this song, Wonderful Tonight. If you like the 1960s and stories about fashion industry, just stories about, you know, the original boy band, the Beatles, you guys will love this story. Patty Boyd tells it in a very chatty manner. You feel like you're sitting down with a big pot of tea with her and just kind of listening to her talk and reminisce about the times and how she was the muse for not one but two great musicians of our time. So Kat and I have been searching for this book everywhere. In fact, I think it came out when we were in LA, and we looked for it there, and then we went all around the world, or actually all around our Targets here in our hometown. Could not find the Target edition, could not find it anywhere. Finally found it just about a week ago in our Target. My Plain Jane, they only had 3 copies, by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. It is the companion novel, I guess, to My Plain Jane, I'm sorry, My Lady Jane. My Plain Jane is about Jane Eyre. So it's supposed to be funny and romantic, and, you know, I've only heard really amazing things about My Lady Jane. I think maybe that will be a book that might make my booktubeathon TBR, because I have it on audio. So yeah, and then I can read this. And then the last book, while we were at Target, because here's the receipt. While we were at Target, I picked up a book by an author that I've heard nothing but great things about. I think the one book that everyone seems to mention is The Nightingale. It's by Kristen Hanna. And I'm just not in the mood to read, like I said, a great big novel. And it's historical, and I'm really not quite in the mood for that. But I picked up this book on a whim, and I was reading it, the synopsis to Kat, and we were like, this sounds really good. This one has a thriller vibe to it. It says, in the rugged Pacific Northwest lies the Olympic National Forest, nearly 1 million acres of impenetrable darkness and impossible beauty. From deep within this old-growth forest, a 6-year-old girl appears. Speechless and alone, she offers no clue to her identity, no hint of her past. Having retreated to her western Washington hometown after a scandal left her career in ruins, child psychiatrist Dr. Julia Cates is determined to free the extraordinary little girl she calls Alice from a prison of unimaginable fear and isolation, although doing so requires help from Julia's estranged sister, a local police officer. The shocking facts of Alice's life test the limits of Julia's faith and strength, even as she struggles to make a home for Alice and for herself. I mean, Kat, I read this to Kat, both she and I went, Stranger Things 11? Yeah, I don't know. This will be my first Kristen Hanna. Let me know what Kristen Hanna book you guys started out with. Did you start out with a big fat one? Mockingbird? Mockingbird? Is that what it's called? I can't even remember. But anyway, let me know. Let's chat. Give me a thumbs up, won't you? Please hit subscribe and hit that bell icon, because you never know when I'm going to post. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cut.